Uh, did Rajani come today to the office, Greg?
Yes, she was in the office today.
Okay. She remembers. Okay, we'll just wait for a couple of minutes. Otherwise, we'll start. Just.
I don't know. I'm just not getting this share screen.
Okay, wait. I will share my screen. Okay, you see here, right, in the right corner, right? If you just click this one, it will just start sharing, Rajani.
Near the heart.
Yeah.
This one's.
I will stop sharing. Did you manage to share?
Yes, yeah, I did.
We're still waiting for.
Share screen. Okay.
Yeah, now something is coming up.
Now it's something.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, the first obvious thing what I can see is like now the class name and the file name, right, should be same with each other. So you got so just change that count words updated, or else change the file name. You can do any one thing actually.
Anything. Okay, this thing, right? Count words update. So I can just put anything, right?
No. It should match the file name. The file name and the class name should be same to each other. You see the file name, right? Add numbers.java.
Okay.
That and the class name should be same with each other.
Okay. Right?
Yes, that's it. Okay, just 1 second. Press Control Z, no?
Control
Z. Go back to the...
Z.
Yeah, just... Yeah. I want you to go back to the original state actually. Press Control Z.
Control Z.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Press again.
Control Z.
Yes. Okay. Just right click there, no? It will give you option. Not right click actually. Sorry. Press Alt Enter actually.
Alt Enter.
Yeah. Click there and then press Alt Enter.
Enter.
Yeah.
Okay.
You see that one, right? It gives you options. Okay, what are the things that could be possibly wrong with that one? So you see the second recommendation, right? Rename the class to. If you do that, right, it will change the class name. Just click that one, no?
Okay. Add number. Okay.
See, it changed the class name.
Wow, this is good. So it's Alt Enter.
Alt Enter, yeah.
Alt Enter.
Okay. It will give you recommendations. What are the possible errors that could be? Okay, and then solutions as well. Okay. Now. What else we can do? Okay, now if you want to run this one, right, you should have a main function here. You don't have a main function here, right? So you are calling this function from calling this class from some other class, is it?
Actually, I was just trying to do something.
No. Understood. That's absolutely fine. Okay. Yeah. Is that okay, or else do you want to discuss something further?
No, that's it. Only
yeah. So in any, you see, you got that red markings in your adjacent programs, right? There also, if you go and then wherever it shows, just go to that program for a minute, no? The next.
This one,
yeah. So there you got the red markings, right? Again, the same thing. So whatever you wherever you see the red, right, red underline, right? You just click there and Alt Enter. It will give you suggestions. What are the things that can be done?
So then this should be probably...
See the second and third, no? Either you can rename the file or else change the class name. Both options are available for you. Okay?
Okay, right.
That's it. And then if you click the above one, right, the package line, the first line, yeah, and then press enter, right, it will give you a suggestion there as well.
Okay. Oh, this is a good way actually.
Yeah, but the thing is like, no, this is kind of a make you a bit dumber actually, because it is a good way, but like, no, we have to really investigate and find out why the problem.
Yeah, That's true.
Yeah, because once you get accumulate, once you get get up to a good standard, right? Then this will be very handy, because most of the times when you will make a mistake, it's like, no, just something like a spelling mistake or syntax mistake, something which you will miss. This will give you quick suggestions. Okay, so that's why. Okay, okay. I will start my screen. You can stop
I'll
yours.
stop sharing.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so everyone is here. Okay, let's start the session. Okay. Uh, Today I'm not going to do any demo programs today. Okay, we are going to see a couple of topics today. We are basically going to see what are arrays and how they are going to be used. Okay, and they are really important as well, because it's one of the that arrays functionality, right, that has been borrowed from the C and C++ program itself. Those existed, those concepts existed in the C itself, and Java just borrowed it. Okay, the whatever functionality Java borrowed, right, though all are fundamentally really important functionalities. Okay, and then one more thing is, like, no, arrays is a very good concept to understand. Okay, it will save you a lot of time. That is a main important part of arrays. And then I'm pretty sure till now, when you did the programs, right, we did initialize lot of integers, lot of different variables, right? You would have thought, okay, is there any easier way to do, rather than declaring 5 variables, is there any easier way to declare, much simpler way, much quicker way? There is a way. That's what the arrays is for. Okay, I'll just jump into it. It's a pretty simple concept, but it is a very flexible and powerful concept as well. Okay, very easy to understand as well. Okay, let me let me just create a package, and I will cover the topic of package also today, because Pallavi asked doubt on that one, actually, because I was supposed to cover that next week, actually, but I will cover that today as well, because I think we'll have enough time about what is packages means. Okay. No. First, let's do Java class. Okay, so think for an example. Okay, say for example, we need to have like five integers in our program for some reason. Okay, we require 5 integers. So how we normally do is, like, now we'll do int, we'll do a comma b comma c comma d comma e. Okay, and then we can use that one in various places if you want. Okay, a equal to 5, like this. Okay, we'll use this one. Okay, what arrays is like, now you see here, right, what has happened in this line is, right, now there's going to be 5 variables, and with each variable which will have different names. Okay, a b c d e, and then which has got different names, and then you will be using that one in a to represent each variable. You have to use a different name. Okay, it can't be used with the same name. Okay, now where array comes into the picture is, like, no, we can have a single variable which can store five integers. That's what array is. Okay, now listen to this one very carefully. Okay, it's really simple. Okay, arrays is nothing but you can have one variable which can store five integers, or any number of integers you want. Okay, it's as simple as this one. Yes, Pallavi, I have started recording. Thanks for reminding. Okay, now let's I will do the declaration first, actually. Array, how we define array, and then I will explain to you why we are declaring that such a way. Okay, so till now, we have seen 2 types of braces. One is flower braces, which defines a scope. Okay, and then we saw something called we have seen this one. Okay, which we will use for arithmetic operations or any kind of statements. If you want to define, we use that statements, right? Okay, so what I mean is, so flower packet, this represents the scope. Okay, arithmetic operations and statements. Okay, so what that means is, like, now if you want to int a is equal to, so we can do it like this, 5 star 6 plus 7. So this is what we use this braces for. Okay, now there is another type of braces which will be used is square brackets. Okay, wherever you see the square brackets, right, those are used only for arrays. It means that arrays are getting used there. Okay, that's what square brackets means. Okay, now let's see how those square brackets will be used in the program. Okay, now okay, int okay, let's remove these two. Now, so what we have said here is like, now, so this is how we initially we will declare an array. So normal initialization of integer is int a. This is how we will normally initialize. Okay, so in this one there is only one. There's going to be only one integer of the type. Only one integer with a variable name a. Okay, and I just got 2 bytes in it. So if I want to say for example, if I want to use multiple integers, right, this is how you will do it in an array. So all you need to do is like, no, you have to just again start with int as normal, and then you have to say that it's going to be it's going to be an array. So you do the square brackets and then the variable name, and then you need to say how many integers you need. Okay, again, don't confuse this with the object. This is just a keyword Java request to initialize an array. Okay, because we know that all the int, float, character, everything is a primitive data type. These are all not classes. Okay, after a while we will see how we declare the class also for array. Okay, now we are going to see only for primitive data types. Okay, so you start with int and then you do the square brackets. You have the variable name equal to, you say new, and then you again put in, and then you say how many variables there are going to be. Okay, so I'm just going to be do this one. Okay, array syntax. Okay, so it's going to be, first you start with data type. Okay, so data type is going to be int, float, char, anything you want. Okay, you do the square brackets, and then you have variable name. Sorry, we'll call it as array name. Okay, array name, then you equal to new of, again, data type, and then size of the array. Okay, so what this means is like, now where so you see wherever you use is less than and greater than symbol, right? So what it means is like, no, those are going to be dynamically, it can be anything you want. Okay, other than that, right, everything is going to be static. This will never change. You should always have a square bracket here, and then equal to is same, and the new is also a fixed one, and then this square bracket is also a fixed one. Okay, this is going to be this way. Okay, so this is the syntax of the array, how you will define a normal array. Okay, first you get the data type, then you follow with the square bracket, then you have the array name, and then you put equal to new, and then again whatever data type you have given, you have to give the data type here, and then you just say the size of the array. It's as simple as this one. Okay, now what this means is like, now you have declared saying, you have told Java that ARR should be capable of holding 5 integers. Okay, now let's see how we will use this one. Using is also really simple. Okay, again remember this one, wherever you see square bracket, right, it means that array is getting used. Using square bracket only, we will declare an array, and then to identify an array, to access the array variable array also, right, we have to use the square brackets again. Okay, so it's simple. Okay, so if I want, so as I said earlier, there is going to be 5 integers in this ARR. Okay, now in the start of the session itself, not start of the session, a while ago I told you, right, in Java, right, the counting always starts from 0. It never starts with 1. Okay, it always starts with 0. Okay, so say for example you want to access the first integer inside this ARR, right? How you do is ARR 0. Okay, and then ARR 1 is equal to 6. ARR of 2 is equal to 7. It's going to be long 3 and 4. Okay, this is how you know you will initialize an array. This is how you will access an array. So for okay, now I've initialized an array. Let's print it out this one. Okay, now let's print out ARR of 3. Okay, if I run this one. Okay, so ARR of 3 is initialized with 8, so that's what we get. Okay, we can do any operations you want. Say for example, if I want to add all the arrays means right now, simple as this, int var is equal to ARR of 0. So say for example, I want to add first and the fifth variable, fifth integer, so you say with 0, 5. Okay, if I run this one, oh sorry, yeah, I will explain to you why this. Just the next one. Okay, so 0 is 5, 5 plus 9 is 14. Okay, what happened earlier is like now, as I told you, you have 5. We have initialized with five integers. Okay, now let's see what will happen if I try to access the fifth variable. Okay, if I do this right, ARR of 5 equal to 10. Okay, you haven't so what you're trying to do is like no, so 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, so you have initialized with five integers, but you are trying to store 6 integers in there. Okay, Java will throw a program in this line. Okay, it will say that array index bound of exception 5. What it means is like no, 5 is not allowed to access, 5 is not a correct index. Okay, because this is what they call it as index. Okay, so AR of this is 0th index, first index, second index, third index, fourth index, fifth index is the invalid index because you got only 5. Okay, and remember this one again, the count starts from 0. Okay, so 0 to 4 is only the valid index for array of 5 size. Okay, it's as simple as this one. Okay, so if you it's anything. Okay, if you go beyond this one, right, if you can put 6 or any number, anything more than 4 is not allowed at all. Okay, if you run this, you're going to get the exact same error, and it's going to say 7. Okay, so 7 is an invalid index. Okay, let me okay. Okay, this is the syntax of the array. Okay, now index of arrays start from 0, starts from 0 to n minus 1. Okay, n being the size of the array. Okay, now more than get index exception. I'll just write the error now. Okay, I will explain to you what is exceptions in the later sessions. Okay, now okay, so index out of bound, that is pretty explanatory, right? You are trying to access an out of bound index. Okay, so 0 to if you have index of array of size 5, right, 0 to 4 is the valid index, 5 is the you have gone out of bounds. Okay, you have gone beyond what it has. Okay, so that's what it means. Okay, it's really as simple as this one. Okay, now say for example, shall we jump into this one? Okay, yeah, you can do it for anything. Okay, like this are all for primitive data types, right? You can do it for float or anything you want. Okay, everything is a valid one. All data types can have arrays. Okay, do float f See this one, this is an invalid one, okay, because again the same problem, mismatch. Okay, if you do this, it's a valid one. Okay. It's as simple as this one. Okay, now let's directly jump into the one advanced concept. Okay, something called as multi-dimensional array. Okay, I'll tell you what is multi-dimensional array. Okay. Okay. Do this. Okay. Okay. Just before going there, actually, everyone is pretty sure about what this, how the what is array, and then how we declare it, right? Okay. Well, that's okay. Okay, it's pretty simple concept. Okay, now let's do something here. Okay, now okay. They call this as a single dimension array. I will tell you why it is single dimension array. Okay, now how usually wait, there must be a pretty good representation of single array. Let me just, yes. Okay, now you see this one right here, right? Okay, so this is nothing but they call it as element 1, element 2, element 3, element 4, element 5 in our this thing, right? So this is what element 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let me remove this one. Okay, now this is how it will be, Java will do. Okay, so once you do this, right, Java will create five integer memory spaces and do this box like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They also have got 5. That's good. Okay, so 5 integer boxes. Once you do this, right, once you start using those memory spaces, right, it will start putting values here. Okay, 5, 2, 8, 7, 6, 0, whatever it can be. Okay, and those will be represented as, so what is the name of the first variable is, sorry, first integer is, it's num of 0 here. For us it's ARR 0. Okay, second is ARR 1, ARR 2, ARR 3, ARR 4. It's as simple as this one. Okay, this is what is called a single dimension array. You see this, right? There is only single row here. Okay, I will show you, I will tell you how multiple rows comes into the picture. Okay, that is why they called it a single dimensional array. Okay,
Balak, can we declare only 5 variables within that, or
No.
can we do more than that?
Any number, you mean to say here,
Yeah, like yeah.
you can give 100,000, any number you want.
Oh, okay.
It's not constrained to this one. I just used to. Oh, they also used 5, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, you can do anything you want actually. Okay, so any number you want. There's no limit to it. Okay, but remember this one. When you do the array is a bit of a costly programming in terms actually. Okay, because it's not dynamically done. It's statically done. What I mean by that, right? Once you do this line, right, immediately 2000 bytes will go away from your main memory. When I say 2000 bytes, right, the reason is like we know that single int is 2 bytes. Each integer is 2 bytes. Okay, so immediately it will create 1000 integers. So 1000 into 2, 2000 bytes will go away. Okay, even though, say for example, you use 100, okay, and you think, okay, you might sometimes it may go till 1000. So you have done 1000, but you will always use only 100 integers, means like no, remaining 900 is waste of memory. In starting programs it's fine actually, but when you do a big project, right, this could be costly. Okay, so you should be really careful with when you are doing arrays. Okay, you should only declare how much you really need. Okay, you shouldn't throw away numbers like this. Okay, this is a perfectly valid statement, but the thing is like now immediately to allocate so much memory immediately. Okay, so how many I got here? 3,000, 100,000. I got a million here. Okay, so a million integers will be created. So it's about like 2 MB worth of data immediately gone from the main memory. Okay, so there is no limit to it. Now you see this, right? There is only single row here. That's why they call it a single dimensional array. I will quickly tell you about, because you need to know about the multi-dimensional array. The reason is like, no, this concept won't be directly used in the array, but later on when we see something called collection, which is very very important in Java and for automation as well, in those circumstances, right, you need to know what is multi-dimension. Okay, so if we come from array itself, right, it will be pretty clear when we go to that ones. Okay, collections. Now what is multi-dimensional array? I'll just name this one single dimension array syntax. Okay, this is what single dimensional array syntax is. Okay, multi-dimension is nothing. Okay, now if you want to have two dimensions, right, it's really really simple. Okay, it's exactly the same thing. Multi-dimensional array, two-dimensional array syntax will be, you just need to put one more curly brace. Don't worry, I'll explain everything to you. Second dimension. Okay, now let's go up to here. Okay, I created one more, right? Yeah. Okay, as I told you, int two base. I'm going to create two-dimensional array. Okay, you can go any number you want, 3-dimension, 4-dimension, like this. Okay, you can keep going on. Okay, I'll explain. Let's start with 2-dimension. Okay, we won't use 5, I'll use 6. Okay, now what has happened here is like, so there will be 36 integers will be created. Okay, I will tell you how they will be represented. Okay, so to access a single integer, a single dimensional array, right, how we do is usually, okay, we tell 0 1 2 3 4. Okay, now what happens in multi-dimensional array, right? So you do like this. Okay, in two-dimensional, what happens is like, what is the name I gave? It's tdim, right? Okay. So tdim 0. Okay, this will have 6 integers. Sorry, I did 6, right? So each row, each of this one, right, it will have six integers. Okay, it will be a bit hard to wrap around this concept. I will explain to you. Okay, just remember this one. So earlier, like now, this in the single dimensional array, this used to represent one integer. Okay, and we stored directly values into this one. In two-dimensional array, this one, right, this one represents 6 integers, this one represents 6 integers, this one represents 6 integers, this one represents 6, goes on. So how many integers are there totally? 6 into 6, you got 36 integers now. Okay, how you represent each one is, right, you just do it like this. Okay, think like this. Okay, you see the square brackets, right, that keeps on increasing. In single dimension you will use only one square bracket. Okay, in two dimension you will use 2, in 3 dimension you use 3, it goes on. Okay, I've never gone beyond 3 dimension. Okay, in very very rare circumstance I have used the third dimension, but most of the scenarios I will use only single dimension. In some scenarios 2 dimension, extreme is third. Okay, if you are going for fourth, right, there is something, there will be definitely a better logic to do it. There won't be any circumstance where you want to go for a fourth dimension. Okay, now let's see simply that, but it is allowed to go to the fourth dimension and fifth, sixth, everything, any big you want. Okay, now so 0, so this is the first slot. Okay, I told you, as I told you right here, right, so tdim of 0, right, that has got 6 integers in it. Okay, now how you will access all the 6 integers? You will do like this. You'll do this one like this. Okay, it keeps on going like this. Two, sorry, 1, it keeps on going on, and then you can go to 5 because it is 6. Okay, it's n minus 1. Okay, then you can do this one. 2, 3, 4. Okay, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and then if I go for the next one, right? This is how again you will start. Okay, so that's what I told you here. This lot again have 6 integers. Okay, it keeps on going on. Okay, 1 of 1, 1 of 2. Okay, imagine like this. Okay, I'll tell you one real-time example, simple example. Okay, say for example you want to store how do you say that? Okay, imagine in a classroom. Okay, if there are 10 people in a classroom. Okay, you want to store all the 10 people's roll number, or else roll number. Okay, 10 people's roll number. How you will do is, if you want to store 10 people in a class, right, the roll number of the person is, right, you just need a single dimension. Okay, it's as simple as this one. Okay, so let's do it like that itself. Okay, I will do that. So let's do a single dimension. Okay, okay, say for example there are 5 people in the class. Okay, okay, and they've got roll numbers. Okay, each have roll number. Now 0 is equal to 1, 2, 3. So I'll just do this. Okay, so 3 people in a classroom. Okay, and you got the roll number. You want to store roll numbers for each of them. Okay, so you just need a single dimension. Right? Think like that. Okay, if there are 4 classes, are right, and each class has got three people in it, right? Now, how we will do it is, then only 2 dimension will come into the picture. Okay, I'll repeat the statement again. In a school, if there are 4 classes and then each class has got three people, right? There only, and you want to store all the people's roll number, but you just want to have some kind of separation between each classroom. Okay, then only 2 dimension will come into the picture. Okay, how 2 dimension will help is when you do the 2 dimension, right? So this is what so I told you how many classrooms, say for 6 classrooms, and then there's going to be 3 people in each class. There's going to be 6 classes and 3 people in each class. Okay, so what will happen is this will become 3. So you got 6 classes, and each class has 3 people in it. Okay, what it means is, like, now you can store 3 roll numbers in it. Okay, so you can go like this. Okay, so 1 1 1, and then 1 1 2, 1 1 3. That's the end of it, because you can't go beyond that, because you got only defined 3. Okay, this is the first roll number, and in the second classroom you go like this. 2 1 1, sorry, 2 1 1, 2 1 2, 2 1 3. Okay, this is the second classroom. In the third classroom, what you do? Okay, 3 3 3. Okay, it's as simple as this one, and you keep going on. Okay, that is how the arrays, multi-dimensional arrays, will be useful to you. Okay, now again, this concept of multi-dimensional, right, it is a, you should know that there is a concept like this. Okay, you will never know when it will be useful, because you will see these concepts getting used indirectly in the collections. At the time, right, you shouldn't be, I mean, in the fall, you shouldn't think like, okay, I don't know what the hell is this one multi-dimension is. Okay, so multi-dimension is nothing but just expanding that one. Okay, so if any time you have a doubt, right, how many bytes are there going to be, like, you just multiply these two, that's many number of integers is available. Okay, it's 18 integers is available here. Here there's only 3 integers. Okay, so what you're saying here is, like, no, if you do this, right, what it means is, like, no, there's going to be 6 rows, and each row will have 3 integers. That's what it means. It's as simple as this one. Okay, so just do chart for the two-dimensional array. Okay, it's 3-dimension. This is again 3-dimension. 2, 3. Oh yeah, this is what 2-dimension is. Okay, so this is row 1, row 2, row 3. Okay, so what you have said is, like, no, there's going to be 6 rows, and each row will have 3 integers. Okay, here they have, this is 3 of 4. Okay, second stem. Sorry, if I do 3 of 4, right? If I do 3 of 4, right, this is the exact representation of 3 of 4 means. So there's going to be 3 rows, and each row will have 4 integers in it. Okay, so how we'll have access each is, so it starts from here. Okay, so it starts from 0 of 0, and then 0 of 1, 0 of 2, 0 of 3. Okay, that is how we've done it. Okay, 0 of 0, 0 of 1, 0 of 2. Okay, if you want to access the next row means, what you will do is you increment the first index. Okay, so it will become 1 of 0, 1 of 1, 1 of 2, and then it will become 2 of 0, 2 of 1, 2 of 2, 2 of 3. It's as simple as this one. Okay, this is what 2-dimension is. Okay, now I'm just thinking whether to talk about the third dimension or not. Okay, because if I talk about third dimension, right, it will be really confusing. Okay, I will give you some guys some time. Okay, let's stop with 2-dimensional itself at this point. Okay, we don't need to see the third dimension, because if I talk about third dimension, it will be really confusing. Okay, in later on classes, when you get your heads wrapped around what is actually array means, like, no, then we will talk about the third dimension. Okay, now just imagine this, the storm with these two. Okay, so we have seen only single 2 dimensions. Okay, one is single dimension and one is 2 dimension. Okay, now single dimension is really simple to understand. Okay, you do it like this, and then each index can store one variable. Okay, and then now if you do 2-dimension, right, you have each index will have its own number of integers. Okay, it depends on how much you have declared in your statement. Okay, so you have declared here 3, so it means that each index will have 3 elements. You can store 3 elements in it. Okay, so this 0 index, right, that can hold 3 integers. Then one index, first index can hold 3 integers, second index can hold 3 integers. It's as simple as that one. Okay, now this is what single dimension, 2-dimension, and we have seen for primitive data types. Okay, now let's talk about how do we initialize initialize this one. Okay, so arrays. Now what we have done here is, like, now I'll just I will keep this as it is. I'll just change this back to 5. Okay, now what we have done here is, right, this is we have first declared the size of the integer, and then we have initialized it. Okay, if you know that what are the values of the integer are going to be, right, then you don't need to do it in these two separate steps. Okay, I'll just remove this flow. Okay, so you know that what are the values of the 5 integers are going to be, right? If you before reserve, right, you don't need to do these 2 steps separately. You can do it in a single step. Okay, first the left hand side of the equal to is going to be exactly the same. You do this, and then what you do is, like, no, you just open a flower bracket, you do this one. Okay, 5 comma 6 comma 7 comma 8 comma 9. Oh yeah, okay, so it's exactly the same thing these two are. Okay, so and this one, see, 8 and 8. Okay, because it's exactly I am printing out the error of 3, and then here I am printing error 1 of 3. Okay, so that's going to be, so this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, is 3. Okay, This is how you will initialize an array in the direct line. Okay, but if you don't know what are the values are going to be, usually in most of the circumstances you won't know it actually. Okay, say for example we want to get 5 integers from the user itself. Okay, oh yeah, that's a good program. Okay, we will see how we will do that. Okay, say for example I need to get I need to get an average of a value. Okay, and I need to have like 5 integers from the user. Okay, so how we will do is array, I put as an example. Okay, what I'm going to do is calculate average for the okay. Now let's do because when you combine arrays with the for loop, right, it will save lot of time. Okay. Okay, now let's do the initial thing. Okay, I'm going to do int a comma b comma c. Okay, now this is equal to scan. See, okay, this is how we will normally do a program. Okay, till now whatever we learned till now, right, just forget about our array for a minute. If you want to do calculate average just by using the knowledge what we learned today, right, you will do it in this way. Okay, now we will enter 3 values. Now so for example 3 4 5, it will tell you what is the average, because 3 and 5 3 4 5 average is 4. Okay, now let's see how we can simplify this program, above program, with arrays. Okay, now we know that we need only we need to have 3 integers. Okay, so first let's declare okay, let's declare 3 single dimensional array with the size of 3. Okay, so you start with the data type and then you put the square bracket, then you put the name of the array, what's going to be. So I'm just going to be I'm going to call that as val. So values, okay, equal to, then again new keyword, then again the data type, and then what is going to be the size. Okay, size is going to be 3. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a for loop. I'm going to start with 0 I less than 3 I plus plus. Okay, now what I'm going to do is off, you can put I scanner dot next. Okay, now so what so this line, right, it has gone to this one. Okay, this has been replaced with this one. How many lines are there? 1 2 3 4. Okay, here also 1 2 3 4 5 are there. You may ask, okay, there's only 4 lines. Imagine that if you want to get an average for like 10, so you how many lines? You will have 10 more variables and 10 more lines, right? If you want to do that here, right, all you have to do is change this one. Okay, change this to 10, change this to 10. Again, now you can get 10 integers from the user. Okay, it's as simple as this one. Now what will happen is, let's do this one. Okay, let's put our for loop. Or first please. Oh, I got a visual. I'm just going to because we don't need this line of code anymore. Okay. I'll reduce this by 5 at this point because okay, let's run 10 itself. It's a big deal. Okay. Okay, it's going to ask 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so average is 5. We know that 1 to 10, what is the average is 5. Okay, now what has happened here is like it's pretty simple. Okay, in the first line what we did is we created an array with the value of, with how many integers that can be stored in this array, 10. Okay, it's simple as that one. Now what we did is we need to collect 10 integers from the user itself. Okay, so how we do it, how we do is scanner.nextInt will collect the integer from the user. Okay, but it will collect you only single integer. Okay, so values of I means like what it means is I'm going to create a looping statement which will loop from 0 to 9. Okay, so because it is less than 10, right, so it will do from 0 to 9. Once I reaches 10, right, this condition won't satisfy anymore, so it will come out of the loop. Okay, so it will run from 0 to 9. We know that 0 to 9 is a representation of 0 is the first element and 9 is the 10th element. Okay, now so first what will happen is when this loop gets executed for the first time, I will be 0, so values of 0 will be scanner.nextInt will be stored in the first integer, whatever the user has entered, right, that will be stored in the 0th index. Okay, so this rather than 5, right, I've just put here, think like this. Okay, rather than 5 here, I put scanner.nextInt. Okay, that's what exactly is happening in this loop. Okay, so I have done it in five lines, right, so I've shortened this 5 lines into a single line by using a looping statement. Okay, for loop. Okay, to be clear. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, that I is going to be incremented only once every time for every loop, every iteration. So it will go from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so in the same way it will go from 0 to 9. Okay, and then at the end of this one, right, we will have 10 values the user would have entered, and all the 10 values would have been stored in our array. Okay, now then I'm using the exact same way to calculate, to add all the 10 things. Okay, how I'm doing it is like I'm creating a variable called as average. Okay, sorry, yes, I'll call it as sum. That will be a better name for it. Okay, so I'm creating a variable called as sum, and then what I'm doing for the first time is equal to sum plus value of I. So what will happen? Sum is equal to, so what is the sum is in the starting? It is 0 plus what is the value of I is, so value of 0 is 1. Okay, so 0 plus 1 is 1. Okay, the second time what will happen to the sum? So sum is equal to sum plus value of 1. So what will happen is 1 plus 2. So it goes on 3. So 3, next time it will be 3 plus 3, what is 6? Next time it is 6 plus 4, and then next time it will be 10 plus 5, 15. It goes on. And let's print out to be so that we can see actually what's happening. Okay, I can run this. Okay, I'm going to rather than for scanner data, I'm just going to modify this one little bit actually, so that I don't need to enter values. Okay, it's as simple as this one. Okay, I'm just storing the I itself in that place. Okay, so first time it will be 0, it will be 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 will be stored. Okay, so it's like entering 0 here, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Okay, the reason why I did it is because I don't want to enter the values again. If I run this one, right, see this one, first time the sum is 0 because that's what we initialized with, and then the value of I is, again it is 0, so 0 plus 0 is you get 0. Okay, so from the second iteration what will happen is, for first iteration what was the sum result of sum, that is 0. Okay, so that's why you have 0, but the value now is 1, so that's values of 1 is 1. Okay, so 0 plus 1 is 1, it goes on like this. Okay, so this is serialized. Okay, this is the values of, so this is value of 0 is 0, value of 1 is 1, 2 is 2, 3 is 3, that's what we have stored here. 4 is 4, 5 is 5. Let's do something like this. Now what will happen is, value of 0 is 10, value of 1 is 11, value of 2 is 12, it goes on like this. Okay, let's do that one. Okay, see what's happening. Okay, you see this one, right? 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 18 19. Okay, it's as simple as this one. Okay, values, how the sums is changing. So first time it is 0 plus 10, you get 10. Okay, next time what is it, 10 plus 11, that's 21, 21 plus 12, 32, sorry 33, 33 plus 13, 46, 46 plus 14, 60. It goes on like this. Okay, and then in the end what will be the result of the sum once it comes out of the loop, it will be 126 plus 19, so that will be 145. Okay, so let's do that one. So we know that 145 divided by 10 is 14.5. We know that in integer 5 will be discarded, that's why you get the result of 14. Okay, I assume everyone understood what we have done here. Okay, this is how you will use you will really use an array. Okay, this is how the arrays will get used. Okay, if the requirement comes to you that you need to use 10 integers, means like, no, you don't need to create 10 variables. It's simple as this one. That is the reason why array exists. Okay, you don't need to create 10 variables. You can create a single array which can store 10 variables. Okay, and then so that is why the array and the looping goes hand in hand, because again, if you don't use loops, right, you have to use AR of 0, AR of 1, AR of 2, like that manually. For that, right, you can create names itself, different names itself. Okay, so whenever you use arrays, right, to really serve the purpose of use the full potential of the array, you have to use the looping as well, so that, like, no, you can do everything. The program is also much easier to do. Okay, it's in the outside world it's the same. Okay, if you create 10 variables under array with 10 variables, right, it's exactly the same for the outside world, but it will save you a lot of time in developing a program. Okay, you can much quickly develop a program, and then it will be easy to understand as well, rather than having six variables with different names, right. You can have one array with this which can store 6 integers, means using that single array name you can represent all the 6 integers. Okay, that's the purpose of it. Okay, now we saw array initialization, right? How we do is, yes. Okay, this is how we do the initialization of an array. Only we will do initialization if we know the beforehand what is going to be the values of the array. Okay, how we do for two dimensional, it's very similar to that one. Okay, just go ahead for this one. Okay. Okay, now you start with brace again. Now what I told you was, right, like, no, so in this one, right, say for example I need to create 3 of 3, means right now there's going to be 3 rows, sorry, think like 3 of 4. Okay, so there's going to be 3 rows, 4 columns. Okay, 3 rows, 4 columns. What it means is, like, now each row can store up to 4 integers. Okay, so this is how you'll do. Okay, how this 3 cross 4 is represented is, you will do it like this, right? 1 2 3 4. If you want to initialize, okay, if you want to initialize this one, means how you do this? First one is 111, and next is 112, next is 113. This one, and the second row is going to be 211, right? 2111, 212, 213. Okay, this is how, right? And it keeps on going on. This is exactly how you will declare a initialized array as well, but you just need to do two braces. Okay, first brace is 111, comma 112, 113. Then you do a comma here. Okay, now you open up another flower base for the next row. 1 comma 212 comma 213. Okay, and then you open another brace for the third row.
Sorry, Bala.
Yeah.
I think you said you store 4 integers. But if
Oh
storing
yeah. I mean, I haven't declared yet. Yeah. Okay, we can store 4. It's absolutely fine. Yeah. Because the reason why why it is flexible is right now because you haven't told Java that what is going to be the size from what you initialize, right? From that only it will deduce what the size is going to be. Okay, so say for example if I do this, right, 311 comma 312 313 314. Okay, now from this, right, from this one, you haven't told Java what is going to be the size. It's a size anywhere explicitly. How Java will know what the size is going to be? It will just count this one. It knows that it is a 2-dimensional array, so it will know that it is going to be 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 and three rows. So it will know that it is going to be sorry. It will know this this and this are exactly the same. So this is how Java will identify. Okay, it will just count what you have initialized, and then from that on it will assume what's going to be the size is going to be. Okay, because in this initialization, right, what Java will know is like, no, it knows that you got only one flower brace, so it will know that it's a single dimension array, and what will be the size of the dimension is it's just going to count the commas. Okay, so 1 2 3 4 5, so you got the size is going to be 5. You don't need to explicitly say. If I try to access, say for example, if I try to access 5, I'm going to get an array error here. The reason is I'm trying to access something out of bound. The valid index is 0 to 4. Okay, so this is 0 and this is 4th index. Okay, and I can't have 5. Okay, it's exactly same as this one. Okay, it has just you do it in 2 lines, right? Java will convert this into this one. Okay, simple as this one. Okay, I'm pretty sure everyone would have understood what is single dimensional array. Okay, and again I'm pretty sure everyone would be a bit hazy about the 2-dimensional array. Okay, because when I first saw it, like, it took me a while to understand as well. So don't worry about it if you don't understand it in a first clear shot. Okay, just get your head around what is 2-dimensional array. Okay, even if you don't understand to the core concept, right, just know this one. Okay, so in a single dimension array, what it means is you can have, say for example, if you give the size of 5 means it can have 5 integers. It's as simple as that one. Okay, there is nothing complicated. If you give 6, there can be 6 integers. Okay, but in 2-dimensional array there's going to be two dimensions. Okay, now the first dimension represents how many number of rows, and the second dimension represents how many number of columns. Okay, so if you say it's 3 of 3 means, like, no, each row will have 3 variables. Okay, if you say 3 of 4 means each row will have 4 variables. If you say 3 of 5 means each row will have 5 of variables. Okay, and the how many number of rows, that is going to be 3. Okay, if you say 5 of 3 means, like, no, there's going to be 5 rows with 3 variables. Okay, the thing is same. Okay, just the order alone will change. Okay, now
sorry, Bala.
Yeah.
So in the last example on the bottom, you don't need to specify how many rows and how many columns you're gonna have, because you're already doing that by just
initializing it. Yes.
And that will automatically know from that,
Yes.
isn't it?
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what. So in here what I'm doing is, so if when you do this one, right, you may look like this one. Okay, Java will in the background, right, it will convert into this one. So it's exactly same thing for multidimensional as well. So even though you do this, right, Java in the background, it will convert to this one. It's three. We are doing 3 of 4 here, but I'm just showing you 6 of 3 here example. But the concept is same. Okay. In the background, Java will convert this one into this one. Okay. So don't worry about it. Now, so if you still don't understand two-dimensional array, it's perfectly understandable, and then it is perfectly normal as well. So don't worry about it. So when you have time, right, just think about what is two-dimensional array, okay, and how it is. How try to access the two-dimensional. Okay, create a two-dimensional array. Try to access a two-dimensional array. Then you will understand it. The reason why I'm not going beyond two-dimensional right now, it'll be a bit hard to get your head around it. Once you're really clear about two-dimensional, right, then you can go into third dimension. It will be really good to see third dimension as well, because it'll give you some perspective about the arrays itself. Okay, it's as simple as that one. Okay, now what we have seen till now for the arrays is, right, we have seen it for the primitive data types. What I'm going to do now is, like, now I'm going to do it for the objects. Okay, that is the whole purpose of the arrays itself, to use it for the objects. Okay, then only you can really use the full potential of arrays. Okay, now let me do that one. Array objects, I'll do that. Okay, now we had a function, sorry, class called as vehicles somewhere, right, some while ago I created. Okay, so this is one. Okay, now what I'm going to do is, like, now I'm going to show you how to do it for the string, and then I'm going to show you for vehicle. Okay, we are going to do these two. Okay, now array objects, it's exactly same as the it's exactly same as the primitive data type, how we do it, the declaration. Okay, it's nothing changed. Okay, so how we do it in the int, say for example, if you want to create array of 5 integers, means int with the square bracket array name, array I. Okay, and then what I will do is new of int of 5. Okay, this is how we do it, right? It's exactly same thing for a string as well. If I want for string, right, I'll do this. I put array yes of string of 5. That's it. Okay, it's as simple as this one. Now only thing what you need to remember is, right, now only big difference between the primitive data type and the classes and creating an object from a class is, right, for the object, when I say what I mean by that is, right now, okay, I'll just recap this one for you guys. Okay, this is how you will create a integer in a normal primitive data types. Okay, or else float. This is how you will do float. Okay, then straight away you can start using float. Okay, you can store 3 in it here like this. Okay, but we know for objects, right, we know for classes, we need to create an object. We can't just declare it and start using it. We need to create an object for it. Okay, so all we have done here is, like, now we have just declared it. We haven't really created an object yet. So what we have told is, right now, I've said that this array is going to contain 5 strings in it, but I haven't declared anything. I haven't created an object yet. Okay, now so what I mean by this one is, right, so once you for the primitive data types, right, once you do this, right, an object, memory has been allocated to this F or A, anything, so you can straight away start using it. But in the class world, what we know is, if I say for example, if I got vehicle, right, vehicle VC means okay, if I do vehicle VC, right, all I've done is, like, not declare a variable that is going to be of type vehicle, but I haven't created an object yet, so I can't still use this one. If I do VC dot, right, if I do this, right, it will throw a null pointer exception. So here itself VC is not initialized. Okay, now what I have to do is, to solve the problem, I have to do this. Okay, that has got the constructor has got arguments. Okay, so that's why it's asking. I have to do that. 5, 6. Okay, so now I can start using it. Okay, now so this is the difference between the primitive data types and then the normal class objects. Okay, so to start using primitive data types, you don't need to do anything. You just need to declare it, then you can straight away start using it. But for the classes, right, you can't just do this one and start using it. You have to create an object, then only you can use it. Okay, the same thing goes for the arrays as well. So once you do this, right, you can straight away start using the array. Okay, you can do array I of 0 is equal to 1. You can do this, it's absolutely fine, but you can't do that for the vehicle. Vehicle will be a better example to show. Okay, now what all I have done here is like, now I've created a just going to name it as vehicles. Okay, I've created a variable called as vehicles, which can store up to 5 vehicle. Okay, that's it, 5 vehicle objects, but I haven't created the object yet. So if I try to use this one, right, vehicles of 0, okay, dot color, let's see what I'm going to what will happen. Okay, I haven't created an object yet, but I'm trying to access a variable inside that object. Okay, I haven't created an object. Don't confuse this new with the creating an object. Okay, all this statement means is like, no, followed with this vehicles of 5. What it means is, right, this variable name can have 5 vehicle objects. Okay, that's all it means, nothing else. Okay, so that's all it means. Okay, yet. Okay, so we haven't created an object yet, we have just declared it. So let's see what will happen in this case. It will throw an error exception, I think null pointer exception, I think. Yes, null pointer exception. What null pointer exception means is like, no, usually whenever you see null pointer exception means it's only one meaning it is. Okay, it's got null pointer exception means the object what you're trying to access is, you haven't initialized it, you haven't created an object, it's not really an object yet. Okay, that's what null pointer exception means. What is null means, like, no, so if I do this, right, vehicle VC, if I do this means, right, no, VC doesn't have anything. Okay, yeah, here it is. So if I do VC1, right, what VC1 means is like, now VC1 doesn't have anything in it. All we have said is VC1 can store an object of type vehicle. That's all it means. Okay, but we haven't created an object yet. So if I try to access VC1, right, what Java will tell you that right now VC1 is empty, so you can't access it. That's what it is saying it. VC1 is null, you can't access it yet. Okay, so null is the keyword here. Okay, don't worry about what is pointer exception means. Okay, null is the keyword here. Okay, so whenever you try to access an object and then Java throws you null means like, no, it means that you haven't initialized it yet. Okay, you haven't created the object yet really. Okay, you can debug it and go back somewhere and then see. If you go back, right, you will see that you haven't initialized it. Okay, that's what exactly has happened here. Okay, so we have created a array of vehicles and I'm directly trying to access it. Okay, so that's why I'm getting this error. Now what I have to do is like, no, I have to create an object for each vehicle. Okay, so let's do that one. Vehicles of 0 equal to of usual way how we will create an object. Say for example, first, yeah.
So I understand that you just create like a table, and now we need to fill it in with the data. Is that correct?
I have created a table which doesn't have a memory space yet. Okay, I've created just a schema. Okay, now I have to allocate memory space to it so that I can really use the schema.
Yeah. Okay.
It's as simple as that one. Okay. Now you guys understood this solution clearly, right? Because in the primitive data types we don't need to do anything else. You just need to declare it and then straight away start using it. But for the classes, right, to start use the classes you have to do both the steps. You can't just declare it and then start using it. You need to create an object also. You need to define it also, then only you can start using that one. Okay, that's what exactly doing here. Okay, in the arrays also, right, in the first step, so all you need to do is like, for primitive data types you just need to declare it and straight away start using it. But for the object or for the classes, right, what you have to do is like, doing this alone is not enough. This one is equivalent to this step. Okay, so this portion, right, it's equivalent to this portion. Okay, now you have to do this portion as well, then only you can really start using the objects. Okay, so that's what I'm doing here. Three. Okay, I'll just do it as blue color. Now orange. Now I can use this one. Now this is a perfectly a valid statement. Now what you have done is like, now in this one, right, in this reference you have still created an object, because earlier the statement was not there, so this reference was not pointing to anything else. Now it is pointing to an object. Okay, that's what you have done here. Okay, what is this line, right? What this line is interpreted is, it's doing like this. Okay, if I do this equal vc1, and in the next line I do this, so what I've done is, first line I have declared it, and then now here I'm defining it, right? That's what I'm doing here. I'm declaring it and now I'm defining it, what's going to be actually in the vehicles. Okay, here only I'm creating an object. Okay, that's what we have done here. So once you do this step, right, you can't start using the VC1 immediately, because you need to create an object. All you have done is done the declaration. What will happen, what is the meaning of this declaration is, VC1 is going to be, is in the variable name, which is going to be of type vehicle. Okay, that's all you have said. You haven't created any memory for it. So when I say memory means like, you haven't created any object for it. When a memory will be allocated is when you create actually an object. Okay, when you do how do you create an object? This is the way you do create an object. Okay, that's what exactly you have to do for the arrays also. Okay, now if I execute this statement, right, I won't get null pointer exception. I'll get value of red. Okay, because we have 0, we know the color is getting stored as red. Okay, see this one, right? Because why this object has been initialized is coming is, I'm pretty sure in the constructor I have a, see this one, interval statement. That's why it's coming like this. Okay, let's go right to this. Why 2 times I'm getting red? Oh yeah, I'm printing out here as well. Okay, that's why I'm getting red here. Okay, we can put this also in the for loop. Okay, it's as simple as that one. Okay, because you see this, right, 5 lines of declaration. The only problem is like, now you can't change this one randomly. Okay, if I do, let's do it in the for loop. So 5, right? Okay, I'll comment out this one. I'm going to print out this one as well. If I run this one, see what comes. Okay. Now what I've done is like, I have initialized, so we have done it in a different step, right? I've put this in a loop, okay? So what I've done is vehicle of 0 is going to be new of vehicle, but the thing is like now here I've got red, blue and orange, right? I've got only orange everything, okay? I'll show you how to do this one also, okay? Orange, and then I have what I've done is like now I got I plus 3, so it will change every time, okay? So initially I will be 0 for the first iteration, so it will be 3, 0 plus 3 is 3, so 0 plus 4 is 4. The second iteration, again for the second object, vehicle of 1, the color is going to be again orange, but this value, right, it will be 1 plus 3, so it will be 4, and then this will be 1 plus 4, it will be 5. It keeps on going on. 2, again the color will be orange, but this will be 2 plus 3, 5, and then 2 plus 4, 6. It goes on like this, okay? That's how I initialized it, and then I'm printing out everything, okay? Now if you look at this, right, for the first way, just come out of this. Okay, as I told you before, for the first vehicle, first array element, right, the element in the first index is, that is 0, okay? Color is going to be orange. For everything color will be orange. The reason is because we are not changing this one. I'm for every object I'm creating, right, I'm storing that as orange, okay? That's why you get orange, okay? First time what will happen is, so I'm printing out seats first, then the doors, okay? So that's why, don't get confused, okay? I'll just change this one for you. Then I will print the seats. Okay, so first time what will happen is door is 0 plus 3 is 3, that's what you get here, okay? And then 0 plus 4 is 4, that's what you get here. For the second object, so for the element of the second index, it's going to be again orange, color is going to be orange, and the doors is going to be 4 because 1 plus 3 is 4, and then 1 plus 4 is 5. It's as simple as this one, and it keeps on going on, okay? Now I assume everyone has understood till this point, okay? Now I'm going to use do something tricky and then change this to red, blue and yellow or orange, okay? I'll tell you how I'll do it, okay? I'm going to create one more array called as colors, okay? It's going to be of type string. I'm going to directly initialize it, okay? I'm going to initialize with orange, okay? Now what will happen is colors of 0 is red, colors of 1 is blue, colors of 2 is yellow, colors of 3 is orange, okay? Now what I'm going to do here is like, now I'm just going to modify this one and say colors of I, okay? So what will happen is like, now it's exactly this in a single for loop, right? I'm iterating two arrays, okay? So first array is, right, I'm just creating objects, okay? And then in this one, right, we don't need to create object, okay? Because the reason is like, now even though it is a string, right, when you do the double quotes, right, we have seen in the previous session, string is a special case, okay? The Java itself will create an object, okay? So you can directly say use double quotes and immediately it will create a string object for you, okay? You don't need to create a object explicitly, okay? Now what I'm doing is like, now for the first iteration, right, vehicle of 0, and this will be color of 0, okay? So it will be red, and the next time it will be color of 1, it will be blue, it goes on, okay? See this one, right? I will get this result, okay? If I run this one now, why 1 2 3 4, okay? Oh yeah, I'm accessing 5. Why I'm accessing 5? 1 2 3 4, because the reason why I get the exception is, right, because it is trying to access color of 4, okay? But color of 4 is not a valid index because 0 1 2 3, and I told you guys, when you initialize with this one, when you initialize with 4, right, Java will immediately in the background, it knows that the size of the array is going to be 4. So what is the allowed index is 0 to 3, okay? So when you try to use index 4, right, which is potentially accessing the fifth element, which is not there, which is not allowed, so that's why you're getting the null pointer exception. But the reason why it is accessing, trying to access the fifth element is because this is 0 to 4. Okay, that is why it is trying to access the fourth index, because this is 5, this array size is 5, but this array size is 4. Okay, we need to match each other, then only you can use the same for loop to do iterate both arrays. Okay, so I will put another color called gray. Okay, this will solve the problem. Okay, you see this, right? First time it is the color is going to be red, and the next time it's 3, and the next time it's color is going to be red, dose is going to be 3, seats is going to be 4, and then for the next object the color is going to be blue, and the dose is going to be 4, and the seats is going to be 5. Okay, it's as simple as this one. Let me copy here. Okay, so what I've done here is like, now I've done this one, I've replaced it with this one. Okay, to do the dynamic really implement the dynamic of the arrays, right? Array initialization, right? I've created another object where I know that what are going to be the colors, color stand beforehand itself. So I've used that to initialize it. Okay. Now, yeah, I just want to show you one more thing. Actually, it's exactly similar thing. Okay. Now what we saw is like, now here, right? This is one line, and then in the next line you are initializing multiple times. Okay. You can combine these two as well. Okay, so if you want to combine, right, how you will do is you will do it like this. Okay, do one. Okay, you open it. I'm going to initialize this one. Okay, so how you do is initialize it. This is how you initialize. I'll just press enter. Okay. Okay, this is going to only one flower base. Don't get confused. Okay, so red, blue, yellow, orange. Okay, what I've done here is like, now you see this line, right? You're declaring it, and then you're defining it. You're creating objects for it. Then only you can really use the arrays. Okay, arrays of objects. Now I've combined these two lines into this one. Okay, that's all I've done. Okay, I'm directly putting the initialization inside when I'm creating the array itself. Okay, that's all I've done, because the only reason I can do this is because beforehand itself I know what are the values of the vehicle is going to be. Okay, then only I can do it. Otherwise you can't, you really don't, because this kind of circumstance will really never happen in the program, because when you create an array, right, you will never know what are the values are going to be get stored. Think like this. Okay, when you're doing an automation, right, if you want to do drop down, say in the drop down, right, you get different options. Okay, you can select what color of car you want. Okay, red, orange, blue, gray. Okay, if you want to, when you ask the browser, right, can you give me all the values are in the drop down, right, it will give you an array. Array of strings. Okay, in the array of strings, right, the 0th element will be blue, whatever the browser has got. Okay, it's as simple as this one. Where can I go for the drop down? So if I do this, right, if I do this drop down, right, there are so many things, elements are coming, right, all the country names are coming, right. When I ask the browser to send me retrieve what are the elements in this drop down box, right, it will always return you a string, array of strings. Okay, and then the values, size, everything will be dynamic. Okay, so you will never know what is going to be actually in this array of string is going to be when you first create the array. Okay, it will be dynamically get created. Okay, so this kind of situation will never happen. Okay, you will always pretty much do this one and then try to store values in it dynamically. Okay, so this is what arrays concept is. Okay, now what I want you guys to do, I'm going to put some simple examples. Okay, simple sessions. Okay, I want you guys to start with this primitive data types itself. This is really simple. First do this one. Okay, with the primitive data types, do single dimension. Don't go for 2 dimension at all. Okay, just forget about 2 dimension at this moment. Okay, first do the single dimension for the primitive data types, then jump on immediately to the objects. Okay, then do the objects with single dimension. Okay, try to create this one using for vehicle, or else your own object, your own class. Okay, I assume you have created some classes. Okay, create an array of objects for your own classes. Okay, try to implement this one. Okay, don't worry about two dimensional at this moment. Okay, just do for single dimension, one for primitive data type and one for the object itself. Okay, then you will understand what is array is, how to access the arrays. Okay, once you get confident in the one, right, then jump onto two dimension. Okay, once you understood two dimension, right, that's all to its array. Okay, this why I'm insisting on this one, right? This is one of the major thing of the Java. Think like this, okay? We have covered 50% of all the basic functionalities of Java till now. Okay, the remaining 50% is going to be clearly concentrating on the objects. Those are all pretty much like, no, you have to remember those things. Okay, that's it. Okay, till now we have covered 50% of the Java basic functionalities. Okay, this is one of the fundamental things. Okay, from here onwards, right, whatever functionality we are going to see, right, it's purely for Java alone. Okay, this is the last topic where Java is borrowed really from C++. From after this session, right, from next session onwards, we are going to see purely Java concepts. When I say Java concepts, like, no, those concepts are not available in the C. Okay, because why you need to know all these things, right? These are all, whatever we have seen till now, right? These are all building blocks of fundamental building blocks of Java, which they borrowed it from the C and C plus programming. Okay, because any programming, Python, C sharp, any program you take, right, all the elements what we saw, like, you know, this for loop, while loop, arrays, everything will be there. Okay, everyone has copied from C and C++ only, and then after above C and C++, they have got their own topics, their own concepts. Okay, that's what they makes them unique from the primitive languages. Whenever they say primitive language, right, it's C and C++. Okay, those are the primitive languages. That's why we call this also a primitive data types. These are all coming from C and C++. Okay, that's why they call that as also primitive data types. Okay, it's as simple as that one. So not immediately for next session, but when we complete the next session, right, from this week, right, I just really want you guys to do some examples on the array. I'll put something. I haven't put the exercises yet. Okay, once I upload this with this video and then all the programs, right, I'll put some exercises also. I really want you guys to do the exercises. Okay, if you don't understand in array at any if you have any doubts, right, write it and keep it separately, because it's really it took me a while to get my head around arrays. Okay, if you have any doubts, right, we will discuss in the next session. Okay, no doubts is a bad doubt. Okay, so just be clear about that. Okay, so to be clear, right, don't do any any axis based on two dimension. Okay, always do a single dimension, one axis for the printed data type and one axis for the objects. Okay, it's as simple as this one. Once you get clear on this one, right, then we will jump on to two dimensional arrays. Okay, now are you guys okay with today's session? Okay, because I was a bit worried actually, because this is a bit hard topic to explain and hard topic to understand as well. Do you guys understood the gist of the topic? Do you still have any like, no, anything like, okay, I really don't understand, I didn't understand anything about the two-dimensional array, or else I didn't understand anything about the array of objects. Okay, if you have anything, like, no, message me personally. Okay, you don't need to say it now. Okay, message me personally. I will explain to you in the next session. Okay, I will explain to the whole class itself. Okay, because I really want you guys to understand this topic. Okay, so if you still have doubts, any fundamental doubts, right, just message me. I will explain in the next session. Okay, and then if you have any doubts during the exercises, right, while doing the exercise, right, that also we will see it in the next session. Okay, yeah, that's it, guys. I just wanted to cover arrays today. Okay, in the next session we will see some advanced Java topics. Okay, that's it, guys. That's all I wanted to cover today. Okay, I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Okay, if you have any doubts, don't worry, ask. Okay, bye.
Alright, bye.